for me just because I started with Kyle last year, and I don't know anybody on except for like Rosa and Kyle. But I went MIA for a couple months, and my brothers and sisters constantly checked on me. Like, we are such a different group. We are all so different, but the support for every single person is there. Like, Karina would text me, like, "Are you okay? Where are you? You're not at a meeting." I'm like, "There's 100 people in the meeting. How do you know I'm not even there?" But, and then it was just random, like Elias and everybody. And Kenny's amazing, but what he created is even more amazing. So I think just having so many different people and then having everybody care and have a vibe for each other, that's what makes it so beautiful.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Cynthia, let's hear from you. What were your takeaways on that video?
That was awesome. I feel like with all of us, like, we're a little bit of those square pegs fitting into the round hole, because we're disrupting the marketplace by just being this super high energy, super supportive group. And I think it shows, because I know in my personal experience, I've had office managers call me and be like, "Can you chill it out a little bit? Like, that's a lot you're doing." And it's like, yeah, because we're passionate about it and we love it. And we really try to help each other out. So yeah, it was awesome. Thanks for sharing that today.
Good stuff. Good stuff. How about for you, Martinique? Takeaways from that quick video?
Yeah, just outside thinkers. Like, you guys have always had that energy. You've always attracted me to that, like, just go get it energy and just thinking outside the box. And you attract, what you put out. So that's what's happening, I feel like. And you guys are movers and shakers. I've always said it, and I love to be a part of it.
And hey, good stuff with you. I've seen more and more of your content on social, you tripping down the stairs. Good stuff. So keep it going. I appreciate the authenticity. How about for you, Damian? When you see that video, what does it represent to you?
It connects in a lot of different ways for me, since I have a few different pots on the fire, I guess, kettles on the fire, if you say. But it's specifically when it was talking about, some people may villainize you. For the longest, in my few years of being in real estate, past brokers would talk shit about Kenny and his unconventional methods of doing business, rather than trying to take notes of his success. And I was new to the game, so I just took these brokers' word for it. I'm like, yeah, man, this guy, it's not going to last. And I'm secretly hating for no reason, and I don't know anything about it. And now, lo and behold, like, over time, I found out, no, he's just really doing something groundbreaking and different and making waves in the business. And like the video just said, sometimes it takes being the villain or being different to be great. So
yeah,
that really hit home.
Yeah. I love your view on that. Good stuff. How about for you, Miss Terry? What were your thoughts on that video? Takeaways?
It was really good. I kind of connected it with when I first started real estate and, joined the Pamela Spivey team. It was basically this, like, I could see the growth of being the person outside the box, because we weren't normal, if that makes any sense.
That's right.
Because
That's right.
it's like, African-American team, what the heck, all women, what is going on here? Like, right. You guys will never make it. And it's like, it just really connected with me.
Good. I love that. And let's hear from one other person. How about you, Kyle?
Yeah, just reminded me of people that aren't living the normal day-to-day, doing the same day-to-day life things, just people that live for stepping out of the box and working outside of the box and everything like that. Yeah, it's just not doing the normal, not living that same old life.
Totally. Because let's just take a look before we get into the topic of this morning. Let's just take a look back at traditional brokerages over the last 10 years. We can name a few of our traditional brokerages that we compete with in our marketplace. I came from Coldwell Banker, which is super traditional, 1906, launched in San Francisco after the great earthquakes, and, tons of money and tons of capital, and really has done great as the biggest real estate conglomerate in the country. But when we think about the last couple of years, what has changed? I think what's changed is that we went into a very agent-centric business. And I believe with certainty, the reason why Fast Real Estate and Team Fast stands out is because it is no longer about the vision of our company, right? Coldwell Banker led by the North Star, the blue, like lead with that CB. We took an approach that was vastly different. We said everything that we are going to do in this company is going to be led by the agents. Why are we different? Because look around the screen. Each of you are from different backgrounds, different demographics. You have children, you're young, you're a millennial, you're not a millennial, all these different backgrounds, right? So what we do is we lead with that. So when people look at our company from the outside, they say, that company's different. It's different because we highlight how unique each of you are, and we'll always do that. So we're always going to be looked at as the company that's fresh and that's different. What we've done since day one is we've said, fuck conformity. And I'm sorry, Martinique. In the sea of sameness, we wanted to throw conformity out the window. We wanted to do something that was vastly different. And look at what we've accomplished in less than 2 years as a new team. We are always willing to take risk. We're willing to fail and try things that may or may not work, and we're okay with it, right? We are okay with saying we are going to fail multiple times in this business, and it's okay. Who would have thought that we could have ran and started a company from the comforts of our own home with a hoodie and a Zoom light, wearing basketball shorts, right? Just think about that, right? We've built this empire, and I've never met Miles. I met Pamela last week. I met Tarek. I've never met Robert. I've never met Patrick, Sonny. I met Lamont. I met Cynthia for my first time. I've never met Jay. And look, we're all still coming together, right? Because we found a way, right? Find a way and be different, because innovation is always going to win. That old stale mentality of doing business has changed. Coldwell Banker, the position that I was in at Coldwell Banker no longer exists. My assistant manager, who was my direct report in my right hand, his position no longer exists. My mentor, who ran the entire region, his position no longer exists, right? So if I wouldn't have made this change and would have not taken this gamble, I would have been sitting in corporate America, had this nice salary, and then it all got pulled from me, and they said, oh, we're going to give you a quick severance, right? That's what happened when they closed down Climb Real Estate. So we dared to take a chance to build this company, and look at where we are now. I left $150,000 on the table as my salary to say, you know what, Kenny, dude, let's do this. Let's build. There was 14 of us, and look at where we are now. We took that risk, you guys. We took that gamble. So when we talk about that, thanks to me, when we talk about this, you guys, I encourage you to do the same thing in your business. Like, oh, well, I don't know. Who cares, right? Forget everyone's opinion about what they think you should be doing in your business. This is my business. This is my way. I'm going to be me. I'm going to be fast, and I'm going to do it Angela's way. I don't care what anybody else says. I want you guys to have that same passion and enthusiasm about your individual business, because that's all that matters right now. You guys being you in an environment where there's so much of this, right? There's so much of people being square in this business. Oh, well, that's not going to work. Remember when people said, video's not going to work? I don't know if you ever heard somebody say video's not going to work. You're using video? Oh yeah, I'll never do video. I'm not a video type of person. Cool, then just retire and move aside, because we're coming through. We're coming through. We are coming through in a big way, you guys. So, I just want to share that with you. That was on my thoughts this morning about being different, about being you. Kenny posted something and it sparked that, because I've been watching that video since that video launched. When that Think Differently campaign came out, it came out when Steve Jobs left Pixar and came back to Apple. Apple at the time was lacking innovation. Sales were down, and they were almost on the brink of closing down the company because they lacked innovation. To think that Apple lacked innovation at that time, it's crazy. They brought back Steve Jobs. He had left to go to Pixar, built Pixar, and they brought him back. And he's like, I don't want to lead with, buy my product. This is this. It has this much speed. It does this. He's like, I want to lead from here. I want to challenge the status quo. I want to connect people universally through products that will speak to you no matter where you are in the world. But I don't ever want to mention a product. How do we do that? And he just flipped the game and the way that he put his marketing campaign across. And that's why you always, because there's phones that do the same thing as Apple, the same exact thing as this phone right here. But why do we use this phone? Because of the way it makes us feel, because of the message behind that, right? So I want to share that with you. So when you're thinking about your own marketing campaigns, your own ideas on how to build your business, I want to encourage you guys all to be different, to be unique, to try things, to gamble, to make some huge decisions, take some huge risks, because I tell you what, I've seen it, and only speaking from experience, it will pay off. It will definitely pay off. So that is my thoughts for the morning. I wanted to share that with you. We're going to get right back into what we were going through on Wednesday. And I want to commend everyone that went on Wednesday. I shared that video with people. They're like, man, that was dope. I loved it. In Terry's squad, her squad leader is Kevin. He's like, I told him, I was like, hey man, Terry's on your squad. I want you to watch this portion of coaching the other day, that we can get an even more insight of who this person really is. He's like, dude, I watched that. He's like, it was so incredible to hear that from her. It's like, so Terry, Kyle, Martinique, like really good stuff. So I wanted to ask, who is ready to go first today in a continuation from Wednesday? Anyone want to step up first? Okay, all right, Pamela, I see you. There you go. All right, so Pamela, you're asking me the question, where am I getting my real estate information? What do I know about the current real estate climate and the market? I've been reading a lot on Zillow, and I get those alerts, and I have some friends that are buying homes, and I guess I don't understand why homes are going for so much over. It's like, do we wait? Like, I just don't know. And so maybe you can help me fill in the blanks.
Well, Elias, I understand it's really confusing and the market's really crazy, but it is my job to help you understand what's going on. We are in a very unique market because right now the millennials, they're the largest buying group in the area, in the generation buying. And so now they're kind of tipping the way as far as making the market go up. We have the interest rates where they're the lowest that they've ever been. So people are running to get that interest rate, because if you buy the interest rate, you're going to be able to buy a little bit more. Then once the interest rate goes up, you're not going to have that buying power. Another thing, and this is very unique to the Bay Area, is if you're looking to buy in Stockton, I'm just throwing that in, okay? There's a little different little twist in Stockton or in the Central Valley opposed to the whole Bay Area. And for Stockton, it was a high crime spot. And over the last 5 to 7 years, some buyers said, you know what, I'm going to roll the dice and I'm going to buy in Stockton, hoping that over time it'll change. Now, fast forward 5 years now, there's regular families are in the neighborhood and they're buying. So now when you come to Stockton, you see that no, it is not a high crime anymore. There are normal families. And that's why you're seeing an increase in that area, because it has been like a little hidden secret that no one knew about. And everyone is migrating from the Bay Area because of the affordability. So right now you cannot buy in Oakland or Antioch. It's not affordable anymore. So now it has pushed it down to the Central Valley. And so now when you're coming down, you are pushed to pretty much Stockton at this point for affordability. So.
Wow. I love that. I love that. And you guys, let's talk about this, because we talked the other day and Ben had brought this up, urbanism versus suburbanism, right? When 5 years ago, people were like, oh, I got a beard, I got a flannel, I got some cool glasses, I want to live in the city, I want to walk over to these cool shops, I want to brew beer, I want to try whiskey, right? Like urbanism at its finest, right? People wanted to live in the city. And then pandemic hit. And then people started to migrate eastward because they had a need for more space. So what's happening is that San Francisco, the people that live in the city, are moving eastward. What's coming with them? Money is coming with them. So it's going to increase commerce in these areas that didn't have maybe an affluent type of demographic, right? What's coming with them is urban ideas. You see all these new cool little like funky shops that are opening up because that's what the people know. Like, well, I can go to downtown Stockton and open up a cool place called Tellus, which is like a pop-up that nobody's seen in this area, but it's like, it reminds you of things that are happening in the city. So people come, the money comes, a different demographic comes, and the new restaurants. And so you start to build commerce that was never in these outlying communities, such as Stockton. Stockton is, we call it the turn, just like West Oakland, where, Station House is. It starts to turn an entire community. So the effects of San Francisco have a ripple effect, not only locally, but as well as in other states next to us. So Pamela, I really, really like that. And thank you for pitching your city, because I I believe that it's a city that's turning. So let's give it up for Pamela. I think that she was
Wait. I have one more little piece that I practiced and I have to say really fast. Okay.
Cool. Hey, take your time. Take your time.
Okay, so then I would tell them, I say, for example, another thing in Stockton is that you're buying a house at a discounted rate in Stockton. The house that you can buy in Oakland for 500,000, you can buy it in Stockton for 300,000. So, with that being said, if you want a discount, you can go there and get that same house at a discounted rate. And the people in Stockton, the realtors have realized that, we are selling at a discount. So therefore, now when we put a house on the market, we're going to expect that buyer to pay a difference of what the appraisal amount is in cash. So now when you're writing an offer, not only do you need a down payment, you need a difference in appraisal amount, because that's going to be an expectation, because they know you are getting a discounted property when you're buying in Stockton. Pow.
She said pow, right? I mean, fire right there. But listen to the confidence, right? She could have said, well, yeah, interest rates are high and a lot of people are moving here because of pandemic. I want more. I want some color, right? Educate me, right? What do I always say? We have to advocate for our consumers and we have to educate them on what's going on in our local market. And pow, absolutely, she absolutely crushed that. So Cynthia, I want to call on you next. I want you to do the same thing. I love your energy, love your approach. Just got into contract twice in the last 2 weeks. So Cynthia, let's have you run it back. So same thing. You're asking me, where am I getting my current information about the real estate market? What do I know? My response is, you know what? I don't know what's going on and why houses are selling for so much over in Martinez. I'm just trying to wrap my head around it. We're just starting this process. So maybe you can lend me some advice on this and help me understand what's going on in the real estate market.
Okay. So I'll go. I'm not ready, but I'll go. So yeah, the market, I mean, I'm sure you've been doing your research. It's hustle and bustle out here. And so when we go out looking at homes, we got to be, ready to go and make offers. And I'll coach you all along the way. In Martinez, the market's amazing here. I mean, for a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom home, we're seeing anywhere in the low to mid 600s. And then if you're looking for, more of a family home with lots of rooms, say like a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom home, we are going to be looking at right around that 800 range or so. And so what I'll do is I will educate you all along the way. I'll be sending you tons of data and reports. That way you know this specific city. And I live here. I live and breathe Martinez. So you can have trust in me along this whole process. And yeah, folks are moving from all over. We've got friends that used to live in San Francisco in a little 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom condo. They were able to sell that and move out here to Martinez and have a family home with an actual yard, and they absolutely love it. Okay, that's where I'm going to stop because I don't know what else to say.
No. So how many people believe that if you're searching for a home in Martinez, you're with somebody that will understand that local market? Right? I believe so. And Cynthia, I think it's a really good job. And thank you for facing your fears, even though, I put you on the spot. That's part of these sessions is getting put on the spot. So really, really good job. Love what we're saying. So Angela, I'm going to call on you. It's been a while. Haven't seen you in a while. So of course I'm going to call on you and she's going to bring the fire. So same question, Angela, or same thought. You're asking me, what do I know about the current real estate market, right? How am I getting my information? Oh, I read like Success Magazine and I'm looking on Zillow. My friends just bought a house over in San Jose and they said it was super, super competitive.
Yeah, they were all cash, right?
Just kidding. Yeah, they were. So maybe you can kind of give me some insight as to what is going on in the market, because I don't think I really understand.
So San Jose in itself is a very, very hot market. Right now, we're competing with a lot of cash buyers. So it's not always a dollar amount that they're looking for. We definitely need to come in with really good terms. And in regards to terms, I'm talking about contingencies. Contingencies will get your offer accepted if you don't have any. San Jose market, a lot of people they'll come in really high and they'll keep on contingencies. It's a safety net. They don't want to pay that bridge cap between their offer price and their appraisal. So my suggestion for my clients is, yes, have money for your down payment, have money for your closing costs, but also have money for that bridge on the appraisal. And let's write that in there. The last 2 offers that I got accepted, we wrote in there that we are willing to bridge the appraisal amount. Like, for example, if the house does not appraise, buyer is willing to pay blah, blah, blah amount, not to exceed offer price. But that's been helping a lot. And you see too, the agents want the best for their sellers. So that's something that they show them. The sellers are attracted because if someone has an appraisal contingency, they're going to ask the price to get dropped down or go back on the market. We're willing to cut those things out and just go in strong and ready.
So I love that. And help me understand, like, I don't think that San Jose, and forgive me if you live there, I'm sorry if this offends you. I don't think it's the most beautiful of areas. Why is San Jose such a competitive market?
Well, you actually offended me. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, so San Jose market, you are near everything. You have Google, Apple, Facebook, and then you got all the freeways. So yes, South Bay is a little bit different, but we're 30 minutes from everything. Like you got Santa Cruz that way, you got SF that way. Like you are in the heart of everything. And then there's everything here. You want to go to the beach, you're 20 minutes out. You want to go hiking, you're 10 minutes out. And depending on where in San Jose, it can be very, very beautiful.
I love it. I love it. And you know what? I think that you started that out really strong, because what drives a huge portion of the market in the Silicon Valley and San Jose, it's the companies that are there. I can bring a person that is 24 years old and give them $250,000 a year to work at Apple. So what happens is that there's always going to be a constant amount of high income, right, in San Jose and the Silicon Valley. So that's going to cause prices to always go up, no matter what people's opinions are. And I was just messing with you on that one. I think it's that it's always going to drive prices up. So Angela, how many of you guys feel like when you talk to Angela that she's got a strategy, right? If I'm a buyer and I talk to Angela, how many people agree that it feels like she has a strategy, right? Like when I heard her, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense, right? She was leading and she was telling you what her strategy is going to be, and this is how we are going to win. Fire. Really, really good stuff. Absolutely love that. All right, who's up next? Because if you don't volunteer, I'm probably just going to call on you. So feel free to throw your name in the hat here.
I'll go for it.
Oh, okay, all right. I think I heard Patrick first. Patrick is on vacation, getting ready for a wedding. So, all right, let's run it back, Patrick. Same thing. You're asking me, how am I getting my information about the real estate market? What is the reality of what is actually happening in our market?
Where is that fool?
He's in Miami.
Oh my God, I'm so jealous. How did I know it was Miami?
All right, Patrick. And hey, man, thank you for doing this, even though you're away and you're in Miami.
Yeah, just trying to prove that I'm in it to win it. All right, let's do it.
Let's go, man.
All right, so Elias, talk to me, man. I want to know sort of where you're getting your information from, how you're learning about the market. Just want to get some context about where you're getting your perspective from.
So I'm generally just keeping up to date on Zillow. I have a couple friends that purchased some houses in Oakland recently. They said they paid about 20% over. I don't know if I can afford that. So I'm just really trying to wrap my head around what's going on in the market. So maybe you can give me some insight with your professional opinion.
Totally. Yeah. So what we're seeing right now, just to kind of give you some context, this February from the past February, we're seeing inventory down by about 4%, right? And so you address the laws of supply and demand. What do you get? You get a higher price typically for the lower inventory. But this is what I'll tell you is, if anyone has ever tried to short the Bay Area market long term, they would be so far in debt, I don't even know where they could afford to live. Bay Area real estate, if you're looking to buy and you're looking to sell within a month or two, who knows, right? If you buy Apple stock, it could be down tomorrow. But 10 years down from now, what are you going to see? You're going to see gains. And that's what you're going to get from places like Oakland. That's what you're going to get from places. I mean, we're talking about, the prices are up. But if you bought this time last year, the value of your home may have gone up 20%. And that's not hyperbole. This is statistics that I'm pulling straight from Bay East, right? This is our reference point for all the data that we're getting. Does that make sense?
Totally.
And so here's something to consider is when you have a place that is so valuable like the Bay Area, especially somewhere like Oakland, where you've got these beautiful rolling hills, the weather, I mean, no offense to San Francisco, but I would take Oakland weather over San Francisco weather any day. You know, you could hop over and hit the snow, you could hop over and hit Half Dome all within a day's time. And there are not a lot of places on this earth where you get those types of privileges, right? So when you're thinking about ownership, you got to look at the big picture. And I can supply you with the data. But honestly, just open your eyes, take a look at the map, see what's around you, and you'll start to realize why Bay Area real estate is a bet that you will never, ever lose long term. And it's really just about your goals. And that's why I'm here, is to take a look at what your objectives are, whether they are short term, whether they are long term, and point you in the best place to have your real estate objectives get met.
Beautiful, man. Absolutely beautiful. A couple things that are take away from what he just said. He talks a lot about appreciation, but not in a way like, oh, your house. He just put that in your mind that, yeah, your home's going to appreciate. But he built a sense of urgency, right? In his conversation, without seeming too pushy, he educates them, lets them come in, educates them more. Does that make sense? And kind of sets the framework a lot like how Terry does in her conversation. So Patrick, man, great job. Really, really appreciate that. So I think I heard Mel, she wanted to step up as well. And then we'll go to Damian.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, cool. Awesome. So Mel, so same question for you. You know, you're asking me, how am I getting my information? What is the reality versus what's the actual reality of the real estate market right now? Yeah, Mel, like I don't really know much about, you know, the local market. You know, do we buy in Walnut Creek, or do we go over to Oakland? Do we go through the tunnel? Like, I just wanted to kind of lean on you. I don't know much, and so I was hoping you can provide us some insight.
Yeah, absolutely. It'd be my pleasure to do so. Actually, that's my job. So let me start out by saying, you know, the Bay Area market is a little bit competitive right now, but that doesn't mean that we can't get a fantastic deal. Definitely want to set you up for success. So now that we have your price range and location taken care of, I think that right now, you know, the best way to set you up for success is to go over some comps in the area to understand what homes are selling for, because I want to set realistic expectations and I want to be your biggest advocate in your corner to be able to give you the best up-to-date information about comps and what things are selling for in the neighborhoods that you want to be in, so that when we're ready to go out and make an offer on a home, you're prepped, you're ready, you know exactly what's going on, and you're comfortable with moving forward with making that offer. Does that make sense?
Totally. I mean, we've been looking in Concord. We grew up in Walnut Creek, but we've been looking in Concord thinking it'd be a little cheaper. But why is it so expensive, and why is it so competitive right now? Like, what changed in 1 year?
Yeah, actually, well, you know, I'm really glad that you brought that up. It's kind of competitive everywhere right now, all across the board, all over, you know, the United States and in California. It's not just one specific place. Although I like your selection of Concord, there's some really great opportunities that I know of in that area right now within my team, because we have so many resources and so many tools, and we know about a lot of off-market opportunities or coming soon opportunities that I can tell you about more later on. But definitely, you know, it's competitive everywhere right now. So, but that doesn't mean that we can't get you a fantastic deal on something. You know, I've been working with buyers all, you know, year, and we've been getting people into homes. So I'm confident that we'll do the same thing for you.
So why are the houses going upwards?
So the reason why the houses are going upwards right now, and fantastic question again, is because it's simple. The supply is a lot lower than the demand. When one house comes on the market, there's 30 eyes on it, which is causing a bidding war to happen. And in those situations, may the best offer win. So that's why it's really important for us, because of the low inventory and low availability of homes on the market, that we're prepped and we're ready to go with our pre-approval letter, with the comps in the neighborhood, and we know exactly what our offer price should be, so that we get in there and we get our offer accepted right through the door.
I mean, beautiful, right? That's why I asked that layer of that question, because I don't feel it was answered the first time. So I pushed Mel, and she came back to answer that question. So I want to talk a little bit about nonverbal cues, right? When I'm saying something like this, do I feel that it's a little bit more convincing, or hey guys, no, I don't think it's going to happen, right? It brings life to the words that we say. when Mel's like, you know what, that's a really good question. She's nodding in agreement, even if I can't see her face, which I fortunately can right now. But if I'm on the phone and she's doing those things, she is bringing life to the words that she says. This brings life to the words that I say, right? So I think that you can feel the animation and the personality behind the things that she is saying. You guys, those things are important, right? I could be here all day long. Hey guys, yeah, the market is super competitive. You know what I mean? Yeah, or I could bring a sense of energy and excitement and the nonverbal cues because my body language has changed and my physiology has changed and my inflection is up and it's down and it's up and it's down and it's not just monotone across the board. I think that that's a huge advantage for somebody like you and for all of us. And Melody, great stats, way to deliver with the stats and like deliver that fire. So really good job. Damian, you wanted to go next, my man, so we'll head over to you.
Hey.
Same thing. So you're asking me, how am I currently getting my information about the real estate market? What do I know? And then let me share with you reality of what is actually happening in our real estate market. So Damian, yeah, man, I've just been looking on Zillow, trying to get a grasp of it. My friends just bought in the Laurel. They told me it was like 22% over asking price. I'm like, mind is blown, man. So I'm leaning on a professional like you to maybe help me understand what is currently going on, my man.
Well, that's a good choice to get some accurate depiction of what's going on because, a lot of information can be hearsay, but, you choosing to speak with someone like myself who is an expert in the area is a very good choice, again, in trying to take steps towards owning a home. And besides your friends and Zillow, where else have you, been trying to research?
That's it, just online, just different articles about Bay Area real estate markets, a lot of information. So I really honestly don't know where to start.
Understood. And what is it specifically about the Laurel District that attracts you to that area?
I just love it. I think it's really, really pretty. It's right above the 580. It's just, some of those old bungalows, craftsman style, turn of the century, and it just seems like a quieter neighborhood. So yeah, but I guess I just don't understand why the houses are selling for so much and why so many gosh darn people are moving to Oakland.
Well, there's a few different factors in that, and not to belabor the points, but urbanism is a big factor in that. A lot of people are leaving the city as they're seeing there is more value of moving across the bridge and going further east. And even in Oakland, they're seeing price differences, and it's just a lot more attractive to their lifestyles that they're finding especially since the pandemic has hit. A lot of people are seeing the value across the bridge. So with that, there's a lot more competition on those homes the further east you go. But as a recommendation, I would say that getting ahead of the trend is a good thing and would be advantageous because even since last year, you might have, if you bought last year in this area, you might have seen a 20% increase in your property value this year in those same areas. So I've dealt with a lot of buyers and clients that wanted to wait, and now they're kind of kicking themselves for making that decision because, again, they could have made some money on their investment.
Man, I love it. Damian, really, really good stuff. I love when you talk because I think that you have a really, really strong vocabulary, and I wrote down some words as you were talking. So a few words that came out were depiction, expert, factors, belabor, urbanism, competition, recommendation, advantageous. These are really, really strong words. And your tone, like Patrick said, it's a super, super sincere tone, right? Like you have this very comforting way of speaking, but you also have a really good vocabulary. I remember growing up, like I said, I wanted to be a wordsmith, right? I want to have an extensive vocabulary. So I would read and then if I didn't know what the word was, I would look it up and try to use it in a sentence and then add it to my vernacular. You being a writer, you could tell you're a writer, right? Because of this extensive vocabulary. I thought it was calm, cool, collected. And I'm like, I'm in, man. You're very, very believable. And I just love your choice of words, man. Really,
Appreciate
really
that.
good stuff.
Just really quickly in response to that, when I was young, I don't know, 8 or 9, the Malcolm X movie came out. And I was way too young to watch it, but the part of that movie that stuck with me, when he went to prison, he was reading the dictionary.
Yeah.
And my mom loves to tell this and brag on me to this day. I remember when you were 8 years old and you would just pick up the dictionary and read it. I was like, yeah, that was Spike Lee's fault, Mom. But now, yeah, now
I
this
love
is
that, man.
the
I
culmination
love
of
that.
that.
Good for you, my man. And you know, we have some similarities in that. Like Jen always busts my chops. She's like, did you really have to use that word? Can't you just say it this way? I'm like,
Yeah.
no, it's not me.
Nope.
So good stuff, man. And
Thank
that
you.
goes a long way, man. I just look at, I was writing as you were talking, man. I just love the choice of words, man. So strong, really, really good stuff. Kevin, are you up next, or did you go you went on Wednesday, right?
No, I didn't.
Okay, are you ready?
Sure.
All right, let's rock and roll, bro. So same thing, man. So yeah, you're asking me how I'm getting my information about the real estate market. I'm looking on Zillow, I'm looking online, MSBC or MNBC or whatever that is. And yeah, man, so you're going to share with me what the actual reality of the market is, man. So yeah, I'm leaning to you, Kevin, to kind of help me understand what's going on, because we know it's competitive in San Ramon and Danville, and we're trying not to pay 30% over, or at least understand why people are paying X amount over.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, I appreciate where you're coming from. I'm glad you're doing your research. Let me give you kind of a little background of, you know, I'm in the trenches every day with my team of about 100 agents all across the Bay Area. And I've lived right here in the Tri-Valley over 30 years, and I've seen it change. But what's happening right now is we have a couple different economic indicators that have really changed things. We've got a supply and demand issue where that in itself is driving prices. A typical inventory, we want to see like 3 to 6 months of inventory available on the market. In San Ramon last month, there was only half a month of inventory. So that's like 15 to 20 homes. And so you're having less inventory, way more eyeballs on those homes. An example, 2 weeks ago, I had a client, we wrote an offer on a house in Dublin. There were 41 offers, right?
Wow.
So in that particular one, you went 25% over list price. One thing I want you to be aware of too is list price is not market price. There's a strategy that listing agents are taking to really help drive traffic to their site and to their properties, and that in itself is creating a lot of excess attraction to that property because people think it's a deal. Well, it might not be a deal because it just means that it's getting a lot of eyeballs and people are still going to pay the 15 to 20% over that original price because the last one down the street went for 1.5, not 1.3 as it was listed for. Does that kind of make sense? Like what's kind of helped driving some of that?
Totally. Good stuff, Kevin. Really good stuff. So a couple takeaways from here is that let me give you some history. I'm a local expert because I've been here for so long. Let me give you some insight as to what's happening in some history and then economic indicators, right? I love those two words, economic indicators, about what's happening, right? It's setting the framework. Let me give you guys some economic indicators. I think Terry said the other day, she's like, would you allow me the opportunity to share with you what is actually happening in the real estate market? I want to share with you some key economic indicators that will help you understand the competitive climate that we're in. But if you frame it like Terry and Kevin just did, why would a consumer not want to listen? Why would a consumer not want to hear what you're going to say and then start to believe what you are saying? Because it's rich in data. The 41 offers, the half a month of inventory, the list versus market. I feel like I just had an educational session with Kevin, right? So really good stuff. Kevin, it has grown, it has advanced, it has like so much advancement since you first started doing these calls, man. So really good stuff. Hats off to you. Martinique, I know that you're with the baby. I wanted to come full circle to Martinique. I pushed her the other day. She went once, she went twice, and now she's going to go a third time.
Okay.
And hopefully we can see your smiling face during this.
I know, I'm trying to hide from the baby real quick. Let me see.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, Martinique, it's the same thing. Like your reality of what is actually going on in the market. I've been looking on Zillow. I got a friend that just bought in Maxwell Park, but Martinique, please help me understand what is going on and educate me.
Okay. Well, yeah, you've been doing some research. I appreciate that you've taken your own initiative and done that research, but the market is, yeah, pretty competitive right now. I've been helping some buyers look, and they've been asking me actually the same questions you are, about how to be competitive or be in the game, stay in the game. I've been letting them know that it is competitive. We do have to come in aggressively. We have to, just compare the other homes in the area and see what those prices are going for. Um, and we'll come up with a strategic plan on how to get you your offer one. It's just a lot of people are coming to the Bay Area right now. Like yourself, you're moving. Well, not you, sorry, but my other buyer is moving from Walnut Creek to Oakland. You're trying to come to. I'm sorry, I'm nervous.
Okay.
Trying to
So
come to. What'd you say?
I said, it's all right. You're doing good. Keep
Okay.
going. Keep going.
Yeah, you just want to come from the suburb to a more urban area for a lot of different reasons, and so do a lot of other people. So we just have to be competitive with that and have a strategic plan on how to get you this offer one.
Okay. So Martinique, when you say the word strategic, do you connect with that word?
Yes,
Like
because
just human to human, me and you having a conversation, do you connect with that word?
yeah, when I think strategy, I think one, talking to my teammates about how to devise the best plan, and then also just doing my own research for you.
Okay, cool. I want to make sure like you're using words that are words that you feel comfortable using and like
Using.
fit your style, right? Like if those words don't fit your style, if economic indicators doesn't fit your style, then cool. Let me talk to you about what we're going to do on Saturday. I always tell my clients, all right, guys, let's go over the flow for Saturday and Sunday. Here's the homes that we're going to go see. Let me know if you have any questions. Like I use flow instead of let me tell you about the order of the day in the home. So if a word like strategic doesn't fit and doesn't come out naturally, switch it up, try something else, right?
Okay.
Because with you, you have such a great bubbly personality. I don't want you to start infusing words that don't really fit Martinique's style.
Okay.
And then now you're trying to do someone else's presentation. Last thing I want you to do is Kevin's presentation. What I want you to do is take out pieces of everyone's and be like, all right, how can I make this sound like 100% me? But
Right.
I tell you what, I appreciate you, and I know you're hiding from the baby and everything, trying to get a quick moment. But no, really, really good stuff. I'm seeing so much growth from each of you. Let's do this. Let's kind of wrap this up, you guys, because there's only 7 minutes left. So, I appreciate you guys stepping into this environment. And what I'm seeing is that we are all getting better. The market update channel, I cannot tell you, I don't even know like how Kenny sleeps sometimes, but he's constantly putting that information in the market update channel. Look at those. Look at the suburbanism versus urbanism. Look at the market trends throughout the country. Look at what's happening. How many people are moving from San Francisco when they're moving to the Sacramento area? Where are the people in Sacramento moving to? They're moving to, Nevada, and they're moving to Washington. They're moving places like Idaho. Like, have a huge understanding of what is happening from a macro level, right? You guys are all business owners and you're all CEOs. A great business owner, CEO, is researching the market around them so they understand how they can adjust in the market, how they can grow their market share, how they can influence in different ways, how they can be ahead of the curve for innovation and change and be able to approach this market differently. And I think that's why we do these calls, you guys. And I want your mind to be working like angles, educate, educate, educate. My mind, you guys, it never fucking stops. I'm always thinking like, what can I put in here? What can I say different? How can I do things, right? And I think I'm seeing that develop through all of you guys. So really, really good stuff. I want to rapid fire. I want to go around the room with the time that we have left today. And I want to go around the room and see what your key takeaways were. So we're going to start with, we'll start from the bottom line here. So Kim, I wanted to know, what were your takeaways from today's session? All right, we'll come back to Kim. Martha, how about for you? Takeaways from today's session?
Sorry, I just unmuted.
Okay. So go ahead. Takeaways from today's session.
So my takeaway from today's session is pretty much taking the data from Bay East, but putting your own spin into it. And if you talk with enthusiasm and confidence, then it's more interesting to hear, even when you're not able to see that person face to face. And I really like everybody's take on their own individual city. And I can really feel their enthusiasm when you talk about their city, and like you can kind of feel the love that they have for that. And I really appreciate being on the call today, just so I can pick up that bit.
Good stuff. I love it. Rob, how about for you? Rapid fire, quick takeaways from today's session.
Hey, Elias, you know what? I came in so late. I've only been here for the last 10 minutes, man.
It's okay, brother. Hey, man, you're here. I appreciate you tuning in. Hopefully next time you'll get here and experience the whole entire session, but thank you for being here nonetheless.
I'll be here, bro.
Okay, brother. Thank you.
Right
Kenny, how about for you, my man? Takeaways from today's session. Sonny, you there? All right, we'll go over to Rosa.
Oh, sorry about that.
Oh, no
No, I was muted. Yeah, I got a lot of things. I got a lot of vocabulary from this session right here, and seeing that how people use the data and put their own net, like how Kim was saying, putting their own cities into the context of it, getting
Good.
words like market atmosphere, competitive, aggressive, supply and demand, strategic, data driven. I want to use these words in my own scripts later on, but I just got to kind of like incorporate it into a way that I feel comfortable. Just like you were saying, how if I'm not comfortable, it doesn't seem natural for me to use it. I got to figure out another way to use it in a similar tone and a similar way that I would naturally be able to use it with my clients, because I don't want to seem artificial.
Yeah, and I love it, man. Good stuff. And I'm glad that you said that, because early on, what do you think the most played out word of 2020 was? Anyone want to guess? Anyone want to say what they think the biggest played out word was of 2020? Starts with a P, ends with a T.
Pivot.
What?
Pivot.
Pivot. Yes. Jeez, Louise. So I made it a goal of myself to say I'm never going to say that freaking word again, because I just didn't feel good saying it anymore and it didn't fit my style. So I try to eliminate that word. Biggest played out word of 2020. But anyways, Rosa, quick takeaways from you.
Can I just say, you need to say it how Ross from Friends says it. Pivot, pivot, pivot.
Right? All right. So Rosa, takeaways from today's session.
Well, today's session, it made me realize that I've forgotten about San Francisco statistics. And so I just looked it up recently, just right now while we were in training. And it's really like just to compare and contrast, right? Because I've been doing business in West Contra Costa, and over there homes are selling within 3 days, 4 days. And apparently in San Francisco it's taking 21 days. So
good,
yeah.
Good stuff. Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Appreciate the insight too. Jay, how about for you, my man? Rapid fire, quick takeaways from today's session.
Good morning, y'all. Think different. Seriously, putting in the effort and the enthusiasm, everything that I heard today, going up against the fear of feeling like you don't know what you're doing, making it happen. That's what these great leaders have already done, and we're following in their footsteps.
I love it. I love it. Awesome. We'll go to Sylvia. Sylvia, hit us with your takeaways.
Okay, I'm at work, so I'm gonna talk fast.
Okay, all right, fast.
Okay. You need to really research, know your data. And when you're talking about being a wordsmith and using what people call big words, people are always telling me I'm using big words, but I'm just talking normal. But when you do that, you speak, you come off with authority, you come off with professionalism, because people may not use the words that you use, but they will pay attention. And they, even if you're new and you don't know what you're doing and you're scared as shit, you know, a lot of times you know more than they know. Zillow, you know, your Zillow doesn't tell them the true statistics. And so if you're using professional words, then people will think you know what you're talking about. They won't trip as much about the price because you're using this speech, and they pay attention and they really think that you know what you're talking about. Then they kind of get it and understand why the prices are so high, because you're using all these big words. It's a psychological thing.
Yeah, no, I love that. I love that. Hey, Patrick or Kyle, I think you have your squad meeting right now, so I don't want you to be late to that. It starts at 9:30, but if you want to go 30 seconds, rapid fire takeaways from today's session.
Yeah, man. I mean, a lot of things always take away. Angela made me feel like I was at home when she did her whole intro right there. It was fantastic. Love seeing her here. I like Mel being assumptive, like, yep, I know, we're confident it's going to happen. Doesn't matter what the market's doing. Let's do it. It's going to work. But yeah, and Patrick reminded me of the Wolf of Wall Street with his freaking sunglasses on and his tie-dye shirt being like, look, man, I can talk numbers all day, but let's make it happen. Here's why people are doing it. You know, it makes sense, right? And so I love that. All right, well, I'm over and out. Got to rock and roll.
All right, cool. Awesome. Let's go to a few others, you guys. Miles, didn't hear from you. My apologies, my man. Miles, what were your takeaways from today's session?
Man, first off, I just want to thank everyone that spoke today, because I just feel like this session was just full of gems, just so many takeaways you can get from this. But some of the main stuff I got from today would be creativity and delivery. So especially delivery with how we look at the data and whatnot, and how because a lot of people, they can go online, see the same data we're talking about, but it's like the story that we paint for them, the picture that gives them that real life to that data. And then delivery, like, especially like what Melody was saying, like, you know, just reaffirming the things that she's conveying to the client and whatnot. I feel like that goes a long way.
Totally. Love it. Great takeaways, my man. I'll have you go next time. All right. Angela, it's good to see your face. Good to have your energy on this call. So I want to know, what were some of your takeaways from today's sesh?
My biggest takeaway is to be involved, to be around so many brilliant people with different ideas. It's so inspiring. Like, I honestly feel like I'm going to have the best day. Like, I'm so happy. I'm so like pumped. So it's a reminder, like, keep involved with my team. Like, you guys are awesome.
You guys are definitely awesome, and you are awesome as well. So good stuff. Let's hear from Mel. Mel, takeaways from today's session.
Takeaway from today's session is that I can always be better and learn something new. I love the key economic indicators, the seems like you've been keeping your eye on the market. And are you familiar with that area? Carving out an hour, hang tight, let's line it up. I'll circle back. Like, all these things I've just been writing down in my notes as I go through the week, and for every meeting I make a note. And so thank you for all of the OGs out there and all the newbies that are always hopping on here to teach me something new. I feel like the wordsmith is something that I'm definitely striving towards more and more every week. So this is super helpful.
Awesome. Let's hear from two other people. Joaquin, takeaways from today's session.
I think it's been said by everybody, right? I mean, just the fact that everybody could come together and really have a breakdown and their own interpretation of what needs to be said. It's amazing. I get to pick a little bit of everything. It's like almost we're at a farmer's market, kind of, you know, pick out all the good stuff. Totally. And then realizing that I have a lot of work to do too. My vocabulary is not that well, and and what I need to do is definitely practice and probably start reading a little bit more and getting more into like the weeds of stuff, so it becomes more natural. But I just really enjoyed. I'm very grateful to be here, man. It's awesome.
Awesome, Joaquin. And let's bring it home, Jeff. One last takeaway from you, Jeff.
Hi.
Hi, buddy. How are you? Good morning to you. You look so handsome.
Morning.
Good morning.
My takeaway was definitely keep working on expanding my lexicon. You know, make sure I get them words in there, because like what Sylvia said, like, I really truly believe that it has a psychological effect, and it makes you be implied as an expert when you're using these words and they're coming off confidently. And then just keep being around the beautiful people that you guys are. Like, I love this every single time. It's amazing.
Well, cool, you guys. And hey, I just appreciate you guys showing up and doing the work, because like I said, I feel like my responsibility is as a coach is to also be a great moderator of thought. And what I mean by that is that it's my responsibility to help to provoke this collective wisdom, right? And I feel like we are just in an environment now where we're starting to get comfortable being uncomfortable. We're starting to share on a higher level, on a deeper level, and we are totally getting into this collective wisdom. Hi, sweetheart. I love your hair. It looks so cute.
Thanks a lot.
So the powers in the collective wisdom, you guys. If you need anything, let me know. Angela, we just wanted to say welcome back home. I know that you haven't been on the sessions that much, but we're looking forward to having your energy and your insight moving forward. So you guys, great job to everyone went. Great job for being here this morning. Get out there and absolutely crush your day, you guys. Peace and love to every one of you guys. Have a wonderful day.
Bye.